A major lawsuit against State Farm gaining national attention after President Trump called out the insurance giant for being, quote, horrible to people.
Our state attorney general has taken up the fight after Oklahomans say their storm damage claims were denied, forcing them to pay the price. Fox 25's Rob Hagan has more from one attorney representing hundreds of families. Rob?
That's right. Wendy, Adam, we all know the State Farm jingle, right? Well, one lawyer says it's that same jingle luring hundreds of homeowners into what he calls the windhail claim denial scheme.
Oklahoma's Attorney General is pushing back against State Farm in a growing legal battle over denied storm damage claims, and he's not alone.
They are intentionally delaying or denying claims that are valid.
Noble McIntyre says he's representing 255 Oklahoma clients who've alleged State Farm wrongly denied their wind or hail damage claims as part of what he calls their secret windhail initiative denial scheme.
They're going to cut by 50% claims on events that haven't even happened yet. It's completely designed to not pay insured with valid claims and put the money in their pocket.
Gentner Drummond filed a response opposing State Farm's effort to block his involvement in the case, arguing his office has the authority to step in and protect Oklahoma homeowners. Here's Drummond in December speaking with our sister station.
We can see the settlement behavior of State Farm throughout the state and see if there's a custom and practice of paying 100 times the claim if you have an attorney and 0 if you don't. And if that's the case, there's going to be a reckoning with State Farm.
State leaders say the case could impact thousands of policyholders and the integrity of Oklahoma's insurance system.
So the AG talked directly to Donald Trump and said, here's what's happening in our state. You saw what they did in California with the fires. They're doing it in our state based on storm damage and hail, and we need help.
After meeting with political representatives of the tragedy in California concerning the burning of thousands of homes, President Trump says the government is looking into the matter. The president posted to Truth Social. Insurance companies, in particular State Farm, have been absolutely horrible to people that have been paying large premiums for years, only to find that when tragedy struck, these horrendous companies were not there to help. State Farm and others should get their act together and treat people fairly.
Right now they're doing the wrong thing. My goal is to make them do the right thing.
Now, I've reached out to State Farm repeatedly to get their response on allegations that valid hail claims were denied and asking this list of questions, including how many claims in Oklahoma have been denied or disputed under these circumstances, and what safeguards they have in place to ensure claims are evaluated fairly and accurately. Since news time, I've not heard back. Where's J.K. Simmons when you need him? Live at the State Attorney General's office, Rob Hagan, Fox 25 News.